I just think right now, women, especially in business, this is the year of women. I just know that.
Life begins at 150 grand a year. Life gets better at 250 and life gets real good at 500. Nobody can tell me differently on it.
When you start teaching something, I feel like that's when you start to master the actual art of it.
You and I, when we publish a book, we can go toe to toe with any of the New York trade publishers, any of the big time authors. We get to compete in that marketplace and then let the market decide whether our stuff is good.
People forget sometimes as an entrepreneur, the whole damn point of entrepreneurship is to make money.
And now here is The Win with your hostess, serial entrepreneur, marketeer, and chief sexy boss, Heather Havenwood.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. This is Heather Havenwood and Pamella Horton. Welcome to the Be Live of The Win with Heather Havenwood. So I'm going to be talking to Pamella Horton today. How are you, Pamella? How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about who Pamella is. Now, first of all, I've been on her show, Calling the Real You, which is an amazing show, podcast. Go check it out on iTunes. But let me tell you who she is. She's also the CEO of MavensConnections.com, which we're going to actually have an amazing conversation with her today on what exactly that is, MavensConnections.com. But first, Pamella Horton is I'm going to ask you to see what this is, BSW, and MS is the Chief Enhancement Officer and Corporate Wellness and Lifestyle Joint Venture Specialist for Mavens Connections, a company she co-founded with her husband, Eric Horton. Pamella and Mavens team customizes and offers enhancement, wellness, and mindset benefit resources for employers and their employees. So I want to ask you first, what is a BSW on the end of your name?
Bachelor's of Social Work.
Okay. I was curious, these little words after your name, so I'd like to know. She's also the Access Freedom Method, which quickly helps you identify the root cause of what is holding you back from living to your fullest potential, being fully self-expressed and performing at your peak. So welcome to the program.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone.
Hey, welcome to Facebook Live as well. We're doing this Facebook Live on Facebook.com/Heather Havenwood. You can find me at heatherhavenwood.com. So let's dive in. What is Mavens Connections?
Mavens Connections is a concierge firm or an enhancement benefits firm where we go in and consult with companies and their staff to help them live happier, safer, and more productive workplace environments. We have the distinct honor of working with human resource leaders and CEOs, learning and training development specialists to learn about what their challenges are. And companies' challenges today really focus around health and well-being, high healthcare costs, as well as low retention and high needs for recruiting good talent. And so we go in and we design wellness and lifestyle programs for them so that they can attract high quality staff and talent and then actually keep them healthy as well.
That's pretty interesting. So that's that's a very unique and I'm going to call it a new age thing. Is that a word nowadays? Thing. I feel like the new word of new age is the millennial thing to do versus the new age. Growing up, for me, it was like the new age thing to do. Now it's like the millennial age thing to do. So tell me more what that means structurally. Like, what does that look like if you're walking into a company? First of all, what's the ideal kind of client? Right? Fees or revenue, and then also, what does that mean? What do you do for them in this wellness perspective? How do you help them?
So actually, I want to answer the why we got into this in the first place. And then I actually want to talk about the difference between enhancement and actual benefits. The reason why we started working with Mavens Connections and designing programs for companies is because people are so oversaturated right now. We are overexhausted, overextended, in pain, and we are unhealthy, and we're making unhealthy decisions for ourselves. And those decisions have a severe impact on our livelihood, on our families, the community, and of course the workplace that we're in. And companies traditionally offer wellness benefits to offset some of those challenges, both individually and then what they have as a company or a corporation. But what in terms of the wellness benefits, what I mean by that is they may provide discounts on massages or screenings on blood pressure and chiropractic care and things of that nature. What we do is we go in and we work with individuals to help them change habit by habit, because you can go in and record how many steps you took, record the calories that you eat, learn how to save and where to spend your money if companies are offering financial wellness programs, for example. But if something is not familiar to you and you're not used to doing something, the habit that you're trying to create for yourself is not going to stick. And so we really work with the individual mindset and help them, first of all, discover what beliefs they're operating under and that prevent them from being and how they want to be in their lives. And then once we discover what that belief is, we actually help them create a new set of beliefs, because first we make our habits and then our habits make us. So for long-lasting change, that's how we're unique and different.
Awesome. Okay. I love that. That's pretty interesting. So what's your ideal client? Are you working with small individual companies with 1 to 5 employees? Or are you looking for more 10 to 100 and plus?
Actually, our sweet spot is 100 employees and more. Having said that, we will work with smaller sized companies, maybe 40 employees up to 100. And we have, but the sweet spot really is 100 employees or more. And that's because there's a lot more momentum that's behind the actual movement that's being created by both Maven's Connections, the company itself, and the employees all together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what exactly do you do in a wellness structure? So if you walked in, do you just help them all exercise? Do you go around and actually recreate the structure of the desks? I mean, what exactly structurally, if someone's listening going, hey, this sounds really cool, I'd love for her to come and help us all be healthy and wellness. Trainers that come in and go, woo, woo, I mean, make sure they're really trainers that come in like, woo. I'm just kidding. That would be fun.
Actually, we choose not to work with the physical wellness and well-being so much because there's a lot of resources that are available for companies regarding physical wellness. What we found in our research is that when an individual is solely focused on a physical well-being component, there are other components that are missing that really need to be brought up to speed along with the wellness. So that's your financial wellness, your spiritual health and wellness, your mental capabilities, and your emotional needs, and learning and working those in concert with the physical needs. So we come in and we work again with the mindset, the emotional needs of the corporation itself as an organization, the company itself and the individuals. And we also work with the spirituality side of things. And so when we come in, we're offering programs that are most convenient and delivering them most convenient to the company. So when we first meet with a potential client, we'll do an assessment need, and we'll and we'll just talk with them and we'll find out what is really important to them and what their true challenges are. And then we'll go back and we'll design a program that meets those specific needs. Is it weight loss? Is it smoking cessation? Is it being more productive and more confident? There's a lot of employees who want to climb up that corporate ladder, so to speak, but they get in their own way through self-sabotage and self-fulfilling prophecies. And so the programs that we offer are digital or live. We'll go on site to a company. And we also coordinate virtual health fairs that are related to these mindset elements.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So do you bring in life coaches? Do you bring in so I'm trying to get the structure of that. Do you walk in with everyone's get a life coach, or is it only the executive team that gets life coaches? Do they all learn how to meditate? I'm just trying to get the structure.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for asking the questions, Heather. It's different for every company. A company, we can go in and work with one department. One company, we can work with all of the executives, or we can roll out programs for the entire corporation. And again, it's different. Are we doing something quarterly? Are we doing something 6 months or for the year? It depends on everyone. And in terms of, we do have experts. I provide most of the programming myself, but we do work with people like Maria Whalen. One of the unique programs that we offer is Intently, which is an ad blocking software that allows people to block the software, but replace block the ads with affirmations and beautiful images that will enhance the habit that they are trying to break and change into a new one. So if someone wants to become wealthier and stop living paycheck to paycheck and stop being burdened with debt, for example, we will come in and design a program specifically around financial wellness. Because, and let me just take a step back here. If you are not familiar with being wealthy, if being wealthy or living outside of your means is what is normal, I'm going to say that again, if living outside of your means is normal to you, then you are most likely living paycheck to paycheck without any savings and that you have debt. That is a habit that has been created for yourself, that you created or that has been inherited from your family, whatever the case may be. If you do not know how to get out of that cycle, nothing is going to change, no matter if someone tells you where to invest your money and how to save it. So our job is to come in and find out what it is that's needed and then design programs around that. And those programs can be group coaching calls. It could be an 8-module week course that they do virtually. It could be a back and forth in a Facebook page that's a private, totally confidential setting. So there's a variety of ways that we deliver our programs.
I love that. So you really actually you help the employees or the people working in the company to actually change their mindset even on a financial level, which is usually something that's done outside of the company. By the way, I love my dogs walking in here.
He's so cute.
That's usually done on the outside, like a personal development outside of the business. And so what I can hear you doing is like, you're putting all that back into the structure of a company and saying, hey, why not enhance your current employees because they'll want to stay with you, longevity. And that's, I think, and this is a question I have for you as an expert in this field. Do you find that the turnover nowadays is higher? We all kind of know that, but do you have any numbers or do you have any kind of stats that one, what are the current stats, if you have any, with the current turnover? And two, does your program help lower that?
Absolutely. What we're doing, we're providing group savings of enhancement programming. So if someone wanted to go outside and work with a specialist, a coach, or a mentor, you're looking at anywhere from $6,000 to $100,000 for the year. And a lot of individuals don't have that kind of discretionary income. And so we bring that expert programming from world-renowned experts into those companies at a great discounted rate. And the employer either pays for it all, or it's an accountability and responsibility thing between employee and employer. It depends. Again, each individual relationship is different that we create between Mavens Connections and the corporation. And turnover is extremely high. There's an aging population right now that is employed, and the age of the regular employee is increasing, which means healthcare costs is increasing based on their needs as we grow older. And you mentioned millennials earlier. Millennials, it's different. It's a different landscape for companies now who are hiring millennials, because millennials don't want careers. They want experiences. And so part of our consultation actually is discussing that with the company and showing them different modalities that they can bring in as an asset to the staff that they're recruiting and retaining. In terms of the statistics regarding turnover and burnout, about 30% of the American population is actually engaged inside the corporation, inside their work environment, the schedule that they have, which is very, very low. And that means that the turnover, and within 1 year's time, if they're not being actively supported by their employer, if they are increasingly going on medications, if their stress level continues to rise, then that the 70% of the population that is not engaged is turning over. And within 1 year, 18 months time, they are moving on to a different company, thinking that their life will get better, but it never typically does, because they're not addressing the root cause for their issues.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. So, wow, that's a huge turnover. So first of all, I just want to tap into this. Millennials don't want careers. They want experiences.
Yeah.
So as a non-millennial, who do they think they are with that? Like, what? I mean, where'd they get that? I mean, who started teaching them that? That, you don't need a career. You need experience. That is so weird for me. I guess I'm obviously not. I'm a Gen Xer. So have you done any research on that? I'm totally asking you. I have no clue if you've done this or not. Have you done any research on why that is? Why they're so into this? We want experiences in life versus a career path.
The attention span of an individual is about 7 seconds. So everyone who dropped off after about 7 seconds, come on back. So
it's very true. If people are 7 seconds. But I mean, again, I'm putting you on the spot, and maybe
that's okay.
A local question. So feel free to be like, I have no idea. But I mean, because I know you're not a millennial as either. I'm not a millennial. So to me, I had this like, who do they think they are? Putting the burden on the companies to give them experiences. And then the question I have for you, because you probably deal with the companies who you're having these conversations with, you're saying to them, they don't want careers, they want experiences. I'm just curious, do they say to you? Do they go, well, yeah, so like they're going to get a career. So how are businesses today handling that information?
We're still in the process of the shift, Heather. So, and again, it depends on how good of a old boy network the company is still operating under, as to whether or not they're super receptive of hearing the information. It's a long process educating everybody. It is a long process to educate people and to warm them up.
Where's the resistance you're getting the most? Is it in the executive team? Is it in the middle management side? Or, where do you find the most resistance versus the area where it's like they're open to it? Did you figure that out yet?
Yeah. So actually, I want to answer the first question that you asked about the millennials. Who do they think they are? You have to remember that the amount of technology that has surfaced in the last decade alone has allowed the millennials to have instant access to our president, right? They could literally email our president and receive a response if they so choose. And they're used to immediate responses and immediate answers. And they're used to having experiences technologically, virtually, and they want to continue that. They love learning, they love e-learning, and they want to continuously fill themselves with that process of adult learning. The resistance does come in from, Siri just got activated for my voice. The resistance does come from, well, again, it depends on the type of company. If you are an IT company, white collar company, there is less resistance. Manufacturing companies, when they're hiring millennials to come into their administrative C-suite kind of space, there's a lot of resistance because they don't understand. And that's what Maven's Connections really tries to do, is bridge the gap between the language of the two generations, or multiple generations at this point now.
Interesting. Thank you I was kind of going down a different path with that. So Maven's Connections, we are talking here in June 2017. You just had like a rebrand and relaunch and a rebirth of that. Tell us some more about that and maybe some differences between, or what's your vision now? Just kind of focus on what's the vision now with this rebirth and rebrand.
I'll tell you a little personal story. I didn't think I was going to go here. About 20 years ago, when I would wake up every day to go to work, and I was a social worker back then, helping individual. I was my own population that I was helping, right? I was a single mother, and my personal life was not the best case scenario. I was overweight. I was size 16. I suffered from migraines at least twice a week that were completely debilitating. I had heartburn every day. I mean, I was the poster child for main medications regarding heartburn and migraines. And I was miserable and I was unhappy. And I went to work every single day, and I was bold and I was brave just by getting up and going and doing that. And when I would look out at my colleagues, you never know what is going on behind closed doors. ever in someone's home, and you never know what's going on in someone's head. And when I would look out, knowing the pain that I was in and how unhealthy I was, and my mindset, how unhealthy my mindset was, because that negative self-talk, I beat myself up so terribly. I decided to make a change for myself, and I dug deep, and I did everything I possibly could and learned as many different modalities as I possibly could to elevate myself and up-level myself and become healthier. I'm a size 4 now, right? Thank you. And when I looked out and I saw that pain and exhaustion and overwhelm in my colleagues, and this is going back 20 years, and it's only gotten worse over the years, my vision for Maven's Connections is remembering where I come from and knowing that people are still experiencing the same pain, if not worse. And I want to help them achieve peace and health and prosperity so that they can truly be productive and truly be happy. And the companies absolutely get the return on their investment because, again, they're not spending money on high absenteeism. They're not spending money on healthcare or sick care cost claims because the individuals are taking care of themselves through our programs. And my vision is really making an impact and changing the way that companies do business, not only with their external clients, but with their internal clients as well, which are their employees.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that personal story. I mean, that gives a visual of from where you're at to where you're at today. You made a huge shift, and you really want to help people around the country, around the world, really. Can people do, and I just want to wrap it up real quick, but companies really take on your wellness programs internationally? Do they have to be near you, which you're in South Florida?
No, the majority of our work is done virtually, and we have clients, and we work with people all over the world now through webinars and things of that nature. So we make it as convenient as possible for them.
Wow. And thank you for sharing that story. That was pretty touching. I had no idea. And it makes you really realize the power of thought and the power of making decisions and up-leveling. I was giving that up because her and I were talking in the green room about up-leveling. And so I really resonate with that right now personally, because it is about up-leveling, challenging ourselves, but also changing ourselves and being willing to say, I'm a different person I was yesterday. Who can I be today? So I think it's really powerful that you are taking that conversation inside the workplace. So I think that is definitely, it's definitely needed. That's for sure. It's definitely needed. I had an interaction the other day with a large bank, very large bank, big bank. And the person was so off-putting and gave me no choices. Like I was trying to figure something out. Like, where are my choices here? And it was just like, there was like these wall. She wasn't giving me, I just stepped away and I just sat down in the lobby and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a solution here, but like I didn't get anywhere. And all of a sudden this gentleman popped up who works there and he goes, can I help you? And I said, I don't know. Like, here's my situation. And she's telling me all these no. He's like, here's a pathway. I'm like, great. And it was just stifling. I mean, I didn't leave. I wasn't angry. I just kind of sat down in the lobby, just kind of standing there. And I realized that a lot of that has to do with not me, but that person. It's all about no, and their particular view on what's happening in their life. They're putting all these no's in front of me because that's how they see their world. You know what I mean? Who knows?
That's right.
Her world, I have no idea. So, but it felt like she's probably projecting a lot of that. No. Next person, please. No. And she's getting a paycheck for that. So I think there's a time now of less how can you do the job and more of how can you effectively have an experience for yourself as an employee, but also have an experience for the customer and your coworkers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Heather. Most companies now, they do offer wellness programs, but the wellness programs fail or flatline, if you will, maybe 6 months or 12 months into it because there's no strong follow-up and follow-through. And that's a unique, real specialty of Maven's Connections is we handhold people through the process. We want this to be successful and we want people to be successful and healthy. And if something is not supported properly, the way that and that's the other piece, the revamping that we've done, we've now set up a way to actually get people into these programs. That's another reason why they fail is because they offer them, but but they can't get the employees to actually attend and participate. And that's a specialty of ours. And people are so oversaturated, I mentioned earlier, that they have a hard time managing all of the balls that they have in the air. And when we come on board, we handhold them. We spoon feed them the information. We know what we're doing to make it a success for them, the company, as well as the world in terms of their communities.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
Brand. I just love it. So I just want to make sure everyone knows your website. Why don't you say it for them so they know where to find you?
Thank you. It's mavensconnections.com. So www.mav as in Victor, ENS as in Sam, connections.com.
And you can find Pamela as well on Twitter at Pam G. Horton. You can find her on Facebook at Calling the Real You, which is an amazing podcast, which I have been on, which thank you so much. And go check her out. Really, this is an amazing, Pamela, you're an amazing woman. You're an amazing person. I feel like I'm talking third party. She's amazing. You really are an amazing person. I just love your energy. You have just an angel-like energy and a connective energy. And I just love that about you. And thank you so much for being my friend and also my guest here today on The Win.
Heather, the pleasure's mine. Thank you for those kind words. I mirror them back to you, my friend. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, everyone. This is Heather Havenwood. Check me out at heatherhavenwood.com. All right. We are ending the broadcast. Talk soon.
Have you ever wanted to stop the 9-to-5 grind and start your own business? Then now is the time to start and grow a business. Hi, I'm Heather Havenwood, and as a female entrepreneur and business coach, I can help you double your income and triple your time off. My gift to you today is a free one-on-one strategy session with me personally. Go to coachwithheather.com. That's right. Go to coachwithheather.com.
Thank you for listening to The Win with Heather Havenwood. Interested in coaching with Heather? Go to heatherhavenwood.com and sign up for a business discovery consultation. Here is your free gift for listening. Get 3 audio chapters of Heather's book, Sexy Boss, How Women Empowerment is Changing the Rulebook, when you text the word sexy to 72000. Again, text the word sexy, that is SEXY, to 72000 and receive your 3 audiobook chapters. Number is good only in North America. This is a Sexy Boss Wrap. This podcast is a copyright of Havenwood Worldwide, LLC.